So, my mom and stepdad recently adopted an Australian Shepherd. She's 4 years old. Her name is Kona. She was relinquished just because she's a little timid and she wouldn't work with cattle. And we have an Australian Shepherd as well. This is Katie. And we've got Kona right here. Come here. This is Kona. And I dropped a piece of cheese while we were puppy sitting Kona. And Kona kind of nipped at my hand a little bit and wanted to get that cheese pretty bad. And so I decided to work on Leave It with Kona. And I wanted to make a video to give to my mom and stepdad so that they could continue working with Kona and see how this all works. And just decided to share it with the masses as well. I strapped a GoPro to my head to record this. I apologize for the audio quality. I had the waterproof case on the GoPro, so the audio is a bit muffled. But I think that it'll be helpful. Clicker training, you're clicking an exact moment in time and then you're rewarding that moment. And so I do some freeze frames in this video so that you can see exactly what it is that I'm rewarding, which I think should be pretty helpful. So this is clicker training of Leave It with Kona, the 4-year-old Australian Shepherd.
Kona, hi, come here, baby. It's okay. So this is Kona. My mom and stepdad recently adopted her. She's a rescue purebred Australian Shepherd. And today we're going to be working on Leave It. I have some treats and I have a little bit of bacon. And we're going to work on Leave It. Leave It is important because if the dog is going after something that they shouldn't have, you want to be able to get the dog to not go after that thing for safety. Maybe you are in the bathroom and you're going to take some ibuprofen and you drop one and you want the dog to leave it alone before they run over and scarf it down, because ibuprofen is very bad for dogs. So this is Kona. Kona's a little bit timid. She's very submissive and she's 4 years old. And I dropped a piece of cheese yesterday and I went to pick it up. She kind of snipped at me a little bit to get that cheese. So we're going to start working on Leave It. So, as with any treat or any trick, you want to shape the behavior and have the behavior easy to recreate before you add the command. And that's especially important with Leave It. So I'm going to get her back up a little bit, and we'll get her into a sit. Good. And I'm clicker training, and the click comes right at the moment when she's doing the thing that you want. Get her into a down here. Good. Right there. Good job. So with this, I'm basically just going to, no, right back down here. I'm basically just going to take some treats in my hand. Get her to kind of maul my hand a little bit, just like this, and she smells the bacon. We'll put that in there. Basically, the moment when she stops mauling my hand, she's going to get a click. Just like that. So she's going to maul my hand. She's trying to get the treat. I'm not letting her get the treat. That's very important. And the second she stops mauling my hand, she gets a click and she gets a treat. Good job. And I'm just shaping the behavior right now. I'm not trying to add a command. It's very important that she does not get the treat on her own with Leave It. She's already figuring out not to maul my hand, and that's very good. Good girl. And that's the first step of Leave It, is you just get her to start trying to steal the treats from you, and as soon as she backs off, She gets a click, and she gets treats. Good girl. Now I'm going to wait to click until... Good. Until she really stops paying attention or leaves it alone for a little longer. That is very good, Kona. Good girl. She gets 2 treats for that one because that was really good girl. Yes. Awesome job. Lots of praise and treats when they're doing well. Yeah. Good girl. So the next step of this is I want to be able to just slightly uncover the treats without her going for them. So we wait until she backs up a little bit. And this is where it's very important, once again, that she does not get the treats on her own. She should only get the treats when I want her to get the treats. Good. But I'm just going to kind of briefly uncover them. Good. Good girl, Kona. Good job. Nope. Good girl. Good job. That's good. Leave it. Yes, that's good. So now, I think I have the behavior pretty well recreatable, so we can start with a command. I want her to be mauling my hand. Yeah, good job. I missed the click there. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Nope. Good job. Good job. I want to be able to get a little bit further away from these treats. So I'm going to do what's called a body block. And this is the basis of a body block, where I'm just blocking the treats so that she can't get to them, right? But I can do that with like my foot. And so I can have her here. Good girl. And it's very important, that she doesn't get to the treats. And the second she stops trying, good. Here's one right here. Good girl. Yes, just like that, where she looked up and she gave me attention. Good, just like that. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, that is so good. Good girl. Yeah. So she's actually starting to offer a look at me, which is just fantastic. I want to reward that. Good job. Good girl, Kona. Good girl. Leave it. Good job. Leave it. Good girl. Nope. Good. Leave it, Kona. Once again, especially at this phase, it's very important that she doesn't get in there and get the treats for herself, because that will reward her for ignoring you. Leave it. Good. I said leave it, and she offered me a look towards me, and that's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Good job. Let's work on a sit-stay here real quick, huh? Sit-stay is pretty easy. If your dog doesn't know sit yet, you can just lure over the head. The second the butt hits the ground, she gets a click. And she's actually offering me a sit-stay right now, where she's just hanging out. So I can click the continued sit. Oh, excuse you. And then I'll lure her away, and I'll give her a release word. I use free. Yes, free. Good. So one more time, we lure her into a sit. We click the sit. We click the continued sit. We say free. And then we reward her releasing. Good job. One more. Sit. And free. Good job. Good job. We can do the same thing with a down stay. We get her into a sit. We lure her into a down. Nope. Sometimes it helps if you kind of come around to the side a little bit with the treat. Good. We click and reward the continued down. And then free. Good job. Good job. One last thing that's very important with Leave It is they have to learn that sometimes the treat that's on the ground they're just not going to get. So what I've been doing so far is I've been having treats on the ground, and I've been asking her to leave it, and then when she leaves it, she gets those treats. But sometimes they can't have the treats that are on the ground. So, I'm going to say leave it. Good. And she's doing really well. I'm going to give her bacon, higher reward than what's on the ground. So she's getting rewarded for leaving that stuff. With bacon, I can put her into a bit of a sit-stay here and reward her for leaving it. Good job. And then I'm just going to pick these up. And she's not going to get them. And so this is a situation where it's going to train that sometimes with the ibuprofen on the ground, or if you drop something that they just shouldn't have, sometimes they don't get it. If you always do your leave it so that they get whatever's on the ground as their reward, they will learn that they should go for that once they get the click, or once you say, oh, good job, they'll go for that treat on the ground. So it's also important that sometimes you just pick those treats up, you put them back in your pocket, or whatever, and she learns that sometimes she doesn't get it, but she should get a different reward instead.